It's called Chillin on Beale Street, and that's just exactly what we're going to do on a beautiful spring evening. We're going to walk up and down the street and talk to some of these proud car owners.
Well, I build rat rods and trikes, V8 trikes, and I love old cars.
And what's your most proud feature of this particular car?
The rat.
What is the basic year of this vehicle before you got to it?
It's a 28 Studebaker sedan made into a pickup truck. So the back half was cut off and slid forward, and we put a bed in it, and done a lot of work on it. I didn't actually build it myself. I built a lot of them, but not this one. But I put a new motor, new transmission. It's got a 350 in it now, Chevy motor, with a 5-speed tranny, standard shift, and I done most of that.
We're at Beale Street, Chilling, and Mr. Sturgeon is going to tell us about his fine vehicle here.
I bought it new in '69, one owner.
And then anything that you've done to trick it out? Obviously, it's beautiful.
It's all factory, just like the day it rolled off the showroom floor.
That's amazing. Now, do you drive this on a daily basis?
No. I did drive it. I mean, the car, we put it's got about 102,000 miles on it. But it's got original paint, original upholstery, carpeting, floor mats, original spare tire in the trunk. And it's John DeLorean only made 1,860, I believe, in '69. And out of that, they made 400 with factory air. That's got factory air. It's got 1 out of 400 from '69.
That's fantastic. Now, tell me something. What is your proudest item on this deal besides the factory air?
The whole car. I don't know. I love the car. I've had it all these years, and people ask me all the time, "You want to sell it?" And I said, "No." It's a great car, and it's something you can't replace. I've owned the car 45 years, and it's just something that you can't just replace it. You know what I mean?
So what happens if a part goes bad or whatever? What do you do? There's
a place back east, Ames. You can actually build this whole car out of a catalog if you got the money. If you got the money, you can build the whole car, But I was out of the country 10 years. I put it in storage for 10 years. I was out in my sailboat sailing out the South Pacific and every place, and all over the North Pacific and Tahiti, all the islands. And I had it in storage for 10 years. So when I pulled it up, I bought a place in Kingman here, and I pulled it up there, and I put it up on blocks for 3 months and went through it. If you notice, there's kind of shiny power boosts and all that, and masters, it's all been going through the whole car. I wouldn't drive it in the street unless it was perfectly safe, you know what I mean? But no, it's all original.
That is fantastic. Thanks for visiting with us.
Hey guys, have a good day.
What do we have here, sir?
Well, this is a 1917 Model T. It's a 22 horse. The speed is, you could probably get 55, but it's awful shaky. I've had it up to 42, and with the tires, it's so slender that it wants to follow the little ruts in the road. You don't see it on the bigger cars with the wider tires, but it gets kind of squirrely whenever you get up over 40. Usually we cruise around 35 to 37. That's usually what we take. When we go on interstate, we take and the people give us is very courteous, and they give us the right way, just and it's so fun to drive. I've probably had this about 7 years, and you just can't. If you've never drove a Model T, you just don't jump in one and start it up, and because it's completely different.
Tell me of the history of the car.
This T was up in the Wallapies. It was in a barn, and lightning hit the roof and started to burn it, and the top was scorched, and the back was a little scorched, and I just ended up buying it from him. It had sat for about 18 years over in California and then in the Wallapies. But it took about an hour and a half to start it up. So and it's so fun to drive, especially the Asian people, they just love it. If I go anywhere, they congregate around it and they want to ride in it. But this is not a show car. It is a driver, and we don't and we give everybody a ride that wants to have fun with it. Yeah.
Well, it's a fantastic car, it's fantastic shape, and thanks very much for visiting with us.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's a 1930 Indian 4, and I bought it from my best friend. He almost got killed on it 4 years ago, and his grandfather bought it in 1945 from the third owner.
And the situation with the bike when you got it, what kind of repair was it in? What have you done with it since then?
Frame was a pretzel, front end was a pretzel, cases were broken, retubed the frame, found a different front end, rebuilt the motor, welded the cases. So it's definitely a ground-up restoration.
And how often do you get it out, and is it street worthy?
I put 50 miles on it today. So this is the first week I've been riding it. It's been 3.5-year process putting it back together again.
So this is a maiden voyage, so to speak. And what you going to do? And how many of these car shows you going to enter the ones around Kingman area, or are you?
Yeah, I just ride it. I enjoy all my stuff. I just ride it. That's what it's designed to do, so that's what I do with it.
1932 Pontiac, 5-window coupe.
And if you would, tell me a little bit about the history of it.
Well, I bought it just before I got married in 1962. I've had it for quite some time.
Now, what condition was it in when you bought it?
It was real good. It was black, of course. And I seen this color scheme I'm from Michigan originally, and I seen this color scheme in Indiana at a car show one time, and so I copied it, kind of. And I have the hood for it, which I wished was done and on, but it's not. But I have the hood.
Tell me about the little bit about the technical part of the car, horsepower and engine and things like that.
Well, I don't know about the horsepower. It's a 350 Chevrolet Saginaw 4-speed transmission. The 9-inch Ford rear end, 350 ratio. I'm not a hard driver or nothing, so I don't have any performance tires on it or nothing. And at one time I did. I wish it was an automatic right now. I don't really need 4-speed transmission.
And tell me how much you use it.
Well, see, I put it on the road in September or October last fall, and it's got 300 miles since then, so I haven't been out of town with it, to be honest with you, yet. I don't know, this is a piece of me now. I've had it so long. Just a plain old mechanic at the local garages where I grew up. I did my first valve job 12 years old. A Chevy 6-cylinder. I cut my teeth on one of those. I did a valve job.
A car I built completely from scratch. It took me about 2 years to build it. I made almost everything myself by hand. The only parts I didn't make are the 2 seats, the nose, and the headlight buckets. Everything else was handcrafted.
Now, what would it be patterned after?
There's a lot of Lotus in it, but then that sort of stops when you get to the front and rear suspension, because that's very modern. It's fully independent and it's got inboard suspension. So.
Now, when you were in the process of building this, what was the biggest challenge in putting this together?
Time and money. When you've got the time, you haven't got the money, and when you've got the money, you haven't got the time. Various skills. There's parts of it that are fiberglass, parts of it that are aluminum, parts of it that are steel. It's a space frame chassis, as I say, with a lot of Lotus in it.
Something like this takes a little bit of a background in this. What is your background in mechanics and formation and things like that?
I'm a mechanical engineer. I suppose I'm also a mechanic because I'm certified as a mechanic. I've also got an associate degree in vehicle body repair, so I've sort of dabbled in it for a long time. I've done race work. I've been over the wall in the pits at Sebring, so you know.
Now, this particular car, is it roadworthy, and how many miles do you put on it during a year?
Well, I did some calculations the other day, and I reckon I'm putting around 10,000 miles on it a year. And to get to here today, I have to do a 65-mile journey each way. So it gets a lot of use. I'm on my third set of tires.
Nearly 100 cars on display here on Chillin on Beale Street, so we certainly aren't going to be able to talk to each and every individual, and I might say very proud owner of the cars that are on display here. But Kingman is an area where these car displays go on frequently, so don't miss the next one.